Hi and welcome back to the Upside Down with the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben and this is me talking about everything we know so far about Season 5 of Stranger Things, the final season. I'm going to be breaking it down and I'll be doing time codes in the bottom below if there's specific things you want to know about. So don't worry about that. I hope you find this informative. If you want to know more things about Stranger Things, I've done a ranking with the monsters, all the monsters ranked in a tier list. I hope you're enjoying these Stranger Things-esque videos. Say hi to the Demigorgon for me. And yeah, give me a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. It helps. I'll chat to you in the comments below. Let's jump in. So in the end of season 5, we were left wondering if we were going to see Sadie Sink again because our 11 character brought her back, but Max is not there in the consciousness. But which characters will come back for season 5? And we can be sure to have Millie Bobby Brown as 11, obviously. Finn Wolfhard as Mike, that makes sense. All these characters that we knew that were still alive are making sense that they will be back. Natalie Dyer as Nancy, Sadie Sink as Max, we think. And this is where my theory of what or who Max will be in season 5. I don't think Max is going to be Max. I think she's going to be Soldier for Vecna. Who will be possessed either by Vecna himself or by a big bad from the Upside Down. She is kind of ripe for the picking. If her consciousness is no longer there, then really she is just a shell that is living, that's been pumped by these machines that 11 brought back. That is one theory. Now, 11 did force her kind of being, her power to be in her body. So either she's going to be a big bad, or we could see maybe that Max has developed with some sort of power because of the way she's brought back. Those are both very interesting theories to me. Let me know in the comments below which one you would prefer. But nevertheless, we definitely will see Max back. Caleb McLaughlin as Lucas will be back. Gaten Matarazzo as Dustin. Joe Keery as Steve. Pariah Ferguson as Erica. And Winona Ryder as Joyce. Those are all characters that will definitely be back, I think. Joseph Quinn, who played Eddie Munson, who was the leader of the Hellfire Club, has also hinted at his possible returning for season 5, which he told Digital Spy in an interview. He said, "I'd be curious if they were not bringing me back. Are you listening, Stranger Things?" This is a weird one for me because I think it'll take away from the impact of his death if they did bring him back, like just kind of resurrect him somehow. I think with the Duffer Brothers being so good at their writing that's doubtful to happen because they like to keep the deaths there. They don't just bring characters back willy-nilly. So I think if he is going to come back, it's more likely to be in a flashback or as an evil version of himself in a bad memory Upside Down if Vecna still has those sort of powers, which I think he probably does. And talking about another character that we thought may be dead, his body disappeared at the end, Vecna himself, or one, and I think we're going to see different iterations of his character maybe transforming somehow. I also think that there's going to be various different bads of the Upside Down that perhaps we haven't seen. This year we were introduced with the Bat, sort of vampire things that eat you, the Upside Down monsters. We've had the Demigorgons, as you can see there, and so we're going to be introduced, I presume, to other monsters, which I think will be characters that we'll probably have, because it's going to be the end season. They're not going to hold anything back. So anything from the Upside Down they've wanted us to see that they didn't get a chance to show yet, that's going to be this season. And really the big question is, when will Stranger Things season 5 be released? Now, we had a big gap between season 3 and 4, and there was 6-month downtime because of COVID pandemic. The Duffer Brothers has said themselves, don't hold us to it, but the gap should be quite a bit shorter this time due to the fact that we already had an initial outline and we can't imagine there will be another 6 months forced hiatus. This is good and bad news because it won't be 3 years, but if we take away the 6-month hiatus, it's still over 2 years that we're having to wait. And those actors who are acting as their characters will age 2 years and they'll be having to give certain makeup, but especially the younger ones will see a drastic difference, which is why the Duffer Brothers has said from the end of season 4 there will be a time gap to where season 5 starts. So season 5 will have a gap, so that might account for why the characters are looking slightly older. I was disappointed by that news now having seen the end of season 5, because it kind of finishes where you wanted to start to pick up with what's coming over in the horizon. So what will Stranger Things season 5 be about? Well, there was a lot that we actually could glean from what they told us in season 4, especially the ending. As I pointed earlier, Max was nearly killed by Vecna, but she was kind of brought back by 11, well, in a coma, and there doesn't seem to be a consciousness there. Will Byers has told the audience and his friends that he still feels the power now that he knows it's Vecna. He realizes it's still around, and you see the goosebumps on the back of his neck, which probably means we're going to see them show down not just 11. 11 has said herself that she feels responsible for not winning, and that she thinks she may have made the wrong decision about her training, having come out too soon. This is the first time she has properly lost, well, the group lost. This wasn't a winning season. They survived, some of them. And so it makes sense that in season 5 we will see 11 train again to be as strong, or strong as she can be, to be able to take on whatever Vecna becomes in season 5. At one stage we weren't even sure that there was going to be a season 5 until the Duffer Brothers themselves wrote an open letter through Netflix and gave us an idea of the plan that they had. They said 7 years ago we planned out the complete story arc for Stranger Things. At the time we predicted the story would last 4 to 5 seasons. It proved too large to tell in 4. You'll see soon for yourselves. We are now hurtling towards our final. Season 4 will be the penultimate season. Season 5 will be the last. They also continued with, there are still many exciting stories to tell within the world of Stranger Things. New mysteries, new adventures, new unexpected heroes. But first, we hope that you stay with us as we finish this tale of a powerful girl named 11 and her brave friends, of a broken police chief and a furious mom, of a small town called Hawkins and an alternate dimension known only as the Upside Down. They also kind of hinted as to what the ending would be. In an interview with SFX, they said it's conceivable that the ending changes, but I think it's unlikely because it's one of those endings that just feels and has always felt right, and also feels sort of inevitable. Then, when you come up with it, you're like, oh, yeah, well, that is absolutely what it has to be. If you were around back in when Netflix was promoting, I think it was early in the year, January, February, Netflix was also promoting with billboards, and you would have seen a 5-worded upside down sentence that said every ending has a beginning, which again kind of leads us into the thinking that there's going to come full circle. We're going to end up back in Hawkins. Not that we'll ever go anywhere, but Hawkins is very different now. It's kind of become the Upside Down at the end of season 4. It is spewing forth that ash. We're getting that kind of lava moment. The Upside Down world kind of spewing forth its entities. It looks like they can probably come out willy-nilly now. I'm imagining that in the beginning or the first few months of season 5, they'll probably have a time jump, and what they'll explain in that is that the military has done a lockdown and everybody that's in the town has been quarantined because the government don't know how to handle it, and therefore we have to have our people inside fend for themselves, which means they've become a bunch of rebels trying to survive in amongst a hellmouth of sorts, which I think could be a really fun way to finish the season. Also, the hinting of the other stories. It's interesting that we may get those stories that haven't been finished that were kind of touched on. There was that separate episode where 11 goes and visits another numbered character, actor, which we just started with. I know it wasn't everybody's favorite, but it's an idea that we could see other stories with the tattooed, powered ones that were alive. I think at the moment there's only a one alive. We don't know how many one killed, but there's a likelihood that there were other experiments around, and so other stories could be told. We now know that Russia was experimenting. What's going on there? Perhaps we could have a different series or season following just one character. There are other countries that may have been involved that we don't know how far this spread. I think it could be really interesting seeing different characters, and maybe some, like an actor playing their character intermixing, like coming and joining on a different path. So afterwards or before or during, like some of the time that was separated, we could have our characters that are perhaps still alive at the end of season 5 go off and join another group. Not necessarily Stranger Things, but a Stranger Things series or spin-off. Let me know your thoughts down below on this. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this. Let me know your favorite moments of season 4. For me, the battle with Vecna was amazing, but the Metallica riff on top of the caravan in the Upside Down, I think it gave me goosebumps, and I was smiling and I was like, yeah, this is amazing. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.